here. It's a hot 41 degrees today. I've been to go watch a movie, and that was How to Train Your Dragon, and it was kind of sad. But at the same time, the Triton is back in our very capable hands. Red calipers, it all looks nice still. Good news and bad news. Okay, so good news is it's the brakes work. The bad news is there's still issues with the braking system because it never is going to get perfect, and you got to figure out why things are. So, what's the good news about the brakes? One, the brakes blade, they work. Two, the brake master cylinder has been replaced because they said that it's probably wearing out itself and it's premature failure of the part, essentially. It should have lasted longer than that, but it didn't. So they told me to take mine back and see if I can get a return on it and see how it goes. So I replaced the master cylinder about 3 months ago, October-ish maybe, and so I've had to give them that information. Now, good news, bad news. Good news is it's back here. Bad news is also they didn't replace the pin, but they replaced the rubber from what they've claimed. Now, they said it was wrong rubber, but I left the old rubber on here that was originally on that pin because replacing it with a good one would ruin the new one, and that's why I did what I did. Now, if they put a new one on, I'm going to have to spend more money to fix their mistake, which I was telling them to avoid in the first place, essentially. So, they did tell the truth in the sense that there's a few more problems. In the drums, there's this top spring that pulls the shoes back away from the brake drums. That's no good, and the reason that's no good is because the springs are too loose. They don't actually probably pull back the brake shoes, and so they're always essentially on a little bit, or maybe not even on a little bit. The reason for that is because the brake drums got so worn out that they had to work even harder, and that might have stretched them. It was meant to return the brake shoes back. I'm going to look into that a little bit more to find out if I can get genuine parts and whether they're actually bad or not. I'm not sure if I can weigh them or see how good they're running. Everything looks okay, I guess. Although, I'm actually not sure. There's a few problems still. One, when I'm braking, the car is shuddering. That's an indicator of potentially a failing disc rotor, which are brand new rotors, but they've been used. And we've got to see how they're actually, if those rotors are warped or not. It's an indicator of contaminants on the disc pads or the rotors. There is definitely no contamination. We've cleaned those things so thoroughly, it's not funny. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to call it, that's it on that. They're trying to buy work out of me by saying, oh, we'll fix your oil leaks, we'll fix this, we'll fix that. The thing is, I don't know if I bled the system properly or not. I couldn't get all the air out, which was a problem. Pedaling the pedal, it was just hard to get the air out of the system, essentially. So, I left it to them to do that because I can't do that job. Because I don't have the tools. Although, we will get tools eventually. Yeah. Anyway, extra news. The mirror that I have sitting on here is gone. It's actually sitting on the driver's seat now because it fell off. The GPS fell off the dash. And I can't tell if there's anything else different in the car. I could go over all my equipment if I have to, but I think they looked after the car alright. I don't think they've done a perfect job, but it's really hard to do a perfect job. This is why I gave it to them, because they're professionals, they understand stuff, they didn't know this stuff. They've gone over things and said this is wrong, that's wrong. It makes a little bit of sense to me. But because it's hot, it's really hard to make a video in the heat. It's also really hard to do it when you're also tired, so I gotta shut the gates. But I won't be doing much to the car today. In fact, I should be shutting every gate. I can't be bothered. For now, we'll wait until the sun goes down and then it'll be a bit more easy to get out there. It's a little bit better now. So, I'm gonna pull apart that rotor a little bit. Sorry, not the rotor. Is it the rotor? No, not the rotor. It is the caliper. I want to see if they put on a new pin or not, because they said they didn't. There's all my gear to work on the car again. It is a really horrible day with all the mess and everything. So, essentially, car's back. It's drivable. I can probably start working again tomorrow, but I got to put in fuel. Not worth it though, because I'll just not make any money tomorrow. It would actually cost me to work tomorrow. So I'm gonna work next week a little bit. I'm not sure if it's the 17th, 18th, 19th next week or what, but those are my appointments for getting a new job. I might end this video here. I'm just so exhausted and tired, and I need to go play a game and just relieve stress. I'm actually getting pushed to clean up all this. Pushed to clean all my tools away and put them away. I need to check that pin if they even replaced it, but they put a new rubber on it and said, oh, it's the wrong rubber. It's not the wrong rubber, it's just a very old rubber. That's what was wrong with it. That's why I gave you the new rubber, because I knew what I knew, and I didn't want to change it until I got a new pin. But people need to stop lying, okay? They're not very honest when they're lying, and I'm not really sure I want to give people who want to lie work. Honest truth is, if they can't get a pin, just be straight up about it. We're going to put the new rubber on because we can't get a new pin, and also this is going to solve a problem. But their reasoning, I gave them the rubber for the reason that I want a new pin. If they can get a new pin, put the rubber on with the new pin. And I want consistency, which is why I gave them the grease. They pretty much said to me that, oh, the rubber's stuffed and it's no good, it's not the right one for this vehicle, and we changed it. If they changed the driver's side one, I'd be annoyed, but they didn't. They changed the passenger side one. And the way I know that is because the one that was on there was pretty much brown. The one that's on there now is black, like a new rubber. Anyway, like I said, I better end this video and go do whatever the hell I gotta do. Free my mind up. Free my body. Just like everyone else should. Go relax. See you later, guys.